Hey, what's going on? So, actually doing a on the bike video this time. Also, kind of doing a midnight bike ride. It's not midnight right now. It's 11:16 at night though. So, by the time I get done, it will be midnight though. One of those, got done with work today, got to the house, hung out for a little bit, had lunch, then decided, you know what, I'm gonna go take a little bit of a nap. So about a 4 or 5 hour nap. Got up, took care of the dogs and cats, got all taken care of. Fix something for dinner, whatever. Then I called my dad, called my granddad, talked to both of them for a good little bit, and then figured, you know, it's a Friday night. Why not? Why not go for a midnight bike ride? Like I said, it'll be midnight by the time I get it done. Typically ride for about an hour and a half, give or take about 10 minutes, because you know and I wish I could change the display to show me my actual riding time, but for some reason it doesn't give that option that I can see. I don't know, maybe that would be like the lap time, because lap time might actually be only the moving time. I'm not sure. May have to look that up on like one of the Garmin Facebook groups or something, or I may just put it into that mode one day and see if it does, because it'd be nice to only get my actual moving time, because I know what time I leave the house, but also maybe keeping it on the total amount of time, just, you know, maybe have it display both. I don't know. It's really not that important at the end of the day. You know, I'm not nerding out over the stats and stuff on my bike. You know, I do have the computer. You can probably see it, but you know, I'm at 18 minutes elapsed right now. But then like stuff like that where the computer paused, because I think it doesn't detect this as, like, I don't know. I don't understand why it does that, because, you know, it does it on these bridge sections. It'll sometimes, you know, pause the ride. Sometimes it'll pause the ride for a few seconds, not do like it did on that one where it just paused and started right back up. But like on these straightaway non-bridge sections, it doesn't ever give me that problem. So I don't know why it does that, because like I said, it's not like I'm not moving, and even if it's losing GPS, I would think it would still have it, because, you know, I'm still pedaling, so that sensor is still throwing data to the computer. My wheel speed sensor is still sending speed information to the computer. So, but I don't get it. I think what I am going to try and do as part of this video is do a little bike tour of the bike. I'm not going to do it tonight because it's too late at night. Not enough light, unless I can get somewhere where there's some light available, and you know, light available, not a bunch of people around, because I'm not awkward to, you know, I'm not like some of these people that are super comfortable vlogging in front of people. I'm the one that's nervous as can be. You know, I'll be over in the corner with my camera talking to myself like, okay, I'm the weird guy. You know, not that if I saw somebody vlogging in public that I would be like, oh, they're weird. No, just, but that's not the mentality of the society as a whole, I would think. I could be wrong. But also, I guess you got to think about it like this: with the amount of people that are doing TikToks, or even if they're not doing, but the people that are watching TikToks and YouTube, you know, somebody talking to a camera isn't really, it's almost mainstream these days. And, you know, for one, you know, if I'm just carrying a conversation on, you know, with people that have like different, you know, wireless earbuds in, you know, unless you can see the screen on their phone, and even if you can, you know, they have one of those little privacy screen protectors, you know, and that's the kind of like way that you can just be real low key, because, you know, maybe I'm on the phone with a relative, you know, on FaceTime or Messenger or whatever, you know, it's like, think nothing of it. But just like this, if I pass somebody, I mean, I have a tiny little camera. It's a DJI Action 2 on my handlebars. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like a camera, but you can't see it. 11 o'clock. If your headlight's pointed at my bike, unless you know what to look for, you're not seeing it. So, you know, you probably just think it's a sensor or something. But that and my headlights, you know, mounted right in front of the handlebars. You may or may not be able to see it in the angle of the lens, I'm not sure. But it was nothing but like a bunch of static. And I'm listening to Pandora on my bone conducting headphones, so it's not like it's like FM radio where it lost reception. It's just, that was a very strange ending to that song. I think I'm listening to like a heavy metal station or something, so maybe one of y'all knows a song that ends static. But yeah, I gotta be honest, I've been really enjoying this bike. I'm at right under, tonight I'll be right under 850 miles. I'm at like 825, I think. And that's since May, beginning of May. So, and I know, you know, that's not serious cyclists out there that, I mean, that's not even their mileage in a month. But, you know, my thing is, you know, I don't compare myself to, I mean, I compare myself to others, but kind of like everything else, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because, you know, depending on where they're at climate-wise, it may not be, you know, 100 degrees in the middle of the day. It may be 75, 70. It may be comfortable. It's 100 degrees and a heat index of 120. Now, that's insane. You can't. You can, but I see people do it. But I'm not at that level to where I could do something like that and actually feel safe. And my thing is, you know, I'd much rather ride this time of day. You know, you, for the most part, have the path to yourself. You know, granted, you know, you do have that risk because you do have the path to yourself. So, if somebody wants to do something, well, you're kind of on your own as far as, but, you know, as far as I know, mostly, you know, if not all, nice neighborhoods, you know, well-to-do neighborhoods, kind of neighborhoods on the other side of, like that direction. That direction to this side, that's nothing but water. That's a lake. Almost I was gonna run over that frog. I do my best to not run over. I've seen spiders, large spiders, not like Not like, can't think, like the big spiders, like the tarantulas maybe. I don't know. It's like the big spiders. They're like fitting like the palm of your hand. Cricket, I just seen a baby snake going across the path. Said frogs. I've seen raccoons, possums, nutria rats, whatever. Yeah, you see it all. Birds, plenty of birds. But I try not to run anything over. I mean, obviously, sometimes you just can't not avoid hitting, running over a little critter. But I do my best not to. Most of them eat bugs, especially the frogs. I think crickets do too. But one of those things, it's just, especially if there's something that's eating bugs. And for one thing with the spiders, which I don't know if they'll just catch them and eat them if they can, or if it's more catch it in a web and then eat it. But my thing is, I don't want to run over a spider and not like run it over and kill it, but it get caught onto my tire, and then I fling it up on my shoe, and it bites my leg or something, and get to deal with a nasty spider bite. Had a friend that happened to when I was back in high school, and it was a nasty healing process. So, and there's one person out here tonight that I've seen. You can probably see him up there walking on that levee. But that's kind of my fear, whether it's reasonable or unreasonable. But I just kind of figure, hey, live and let live. Obviously if it's a bug, it's just doing its bug things in life, and let it be. But I have, because I ride, and I may have mentioned this, I ride like an hour and a half when I ride, give or take. I know I mentioned that in this video, but I noticed I've actually been able to get about another mile onto my ride each time. Not each ride, but I've been able to ride with an extra mile, an additional mile than I used to do. And actually, I want to say it's actually an additional 2 miles. Where I used to turn around at the about 45-minute point. I'm now about at 35 minutes at that point. And I keep riding, get to about 42 minutes. 42 miles would be amazing. Maybe. So my thing is, get about 42 minutes in, and I'm at a good turnaround point, and then take a little couple minute break, drink some water, and then get right back on the path, headed back to the house. And I'm not even going to try and talk of any substance right in here, because I don't think even this little wind protector thing on the mic, I don't think it's going to help. So, yeah, the other day I was coming across this bridge at the end on the left, feet ahead of me right now. They had a group of ladies taking pictures of each other, like, for Instagram or whatever. I don't know, maybe one of them's a hairdresser or a makeup artist or something, or I don't know, headshots for, resume. I don't know, not a clue. But they were taking pictures of each other, and one of them had their keys on the ground in the middle of the path. Yeah, I ran those keys over, but I'm glad it didn't mess my tire up. And it was one of those, I guess the girl that the keys belonged to, she, like, when I hit him, she's like, "Oh, my bad, I'm sorry." you know, because it's kind of obvious. You shouldn't put stuff down in the middle of the path, you know. If you're gonna, even if you're on a bicycle, you know, you'll stop at these little benches and they'll have, like, there's plenty of space to pull your entire bike off the path, and they'll have their bike, like, they'll just stop their bike in the middle of the path, like, and I say the middle, like how I'm going down the path right now. And it's like they'll have, you know, their kids, and the kids got the bikes all over the place, and it's like, it's unsafe. And it's unsafe, and it's not considerate. So that's my rant about that. I did find that that extra microphone I had, the Samson Meteor mic, I believe that's what it's called. It's like the all chrome microphone with a little built-in stand. Did find it, and because to be honest, with the whole YouTube thing, you know, back in the day when I used to make, you know, I'd get like $100 a month, which was great. I mean, that was a nice little check, you know. But I would take that $100 and reinvest it into the channel, you know, getting a lav mic or a microphone, stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not getting YouTube money anymore, even what little bit I got. And I mean, I do have the Amazon affiliate program, but I'll put the ads out, not the ads, but I'll put the affiliate links out, and every once in a while. But I haven't really, other than, like, I think I've seen like 15 or 20 bucks from that. Granted, like I said, you know, you kind of need an audience, you kind of need a following, and in order to build an audience, you know, I just don't have the time for these videos. So, and I try and limit my expenses based off of, you know, what I can reasonably put into it. You know, if I'm having fun doing it, then I don't mind spending money on and getting stuff. But, you know, it's a hard issue to spend money on equipment for it if it's only going to be used for this YouTube channel that doesn't return anything on my investment. And I have stuff that definitely is like that. You know, stuff I bought, and I've done it even since I didn't have AdSense anymore, because, like, this camera, you know, but it wasn't good. I try not to hit big divots in the road, especially with these tires. Well, tires, rims, carbon fork, you know, just trying, even though I haven't had any issues yet, but I try not to do things that would be too abusive to the bike that could cause premature wear or failure of stuff. But yeah, that was a good thing with riding this late at night. It's nice and cool outside. Not like I wish I was wearing long pants or in a jacket cold. It's definitely, it's probably in the 80s now, the upper 80s, but 80s nonetheless. Whereas earlier, if I'd have rode at 8:30 when I planned to, it was still 90 something, like almost 100 degrees. So figured let it cool a little bit more, and hey, why not go ride late at night? It's nothing better. It's like I've said in the past, you know, if ever, anytime I've ever been on the fence, now some nights, like, it's just like I'm exhausted, I have so much to do tomorrow, I just need to rest. Take those days off. You know, if I can justify it by, like, oh, it's a little too windy, you know, like 10, 11 miles an hour for wind is about my cutoff point. Anything higher than that, I mean, I can do it, but you lose your enjoyment. So, and I think what my plan is going to be is I'll probably end up doing the bike video like on what the bike is. I was thinking about trying to do it tonight, but I think I got a few more people up here. I think my plan will be to just hold off on it and do it tomorrow, because I don't think I'll be able to do it tonight anyway. It's possible. One thing that has been nice lately is, for a while there, they were horrible. Like, I bought one of those gators. Actually, I didn't just buy one. I bought a couple, like 2 or 3 packs of, it was grasshopper. Bought a couple of 2 or 3 packs, like 2 or 3 packs of the face neck gators, and those. Comical thing is, I thought I saw someone wearing one time, and I was like, understand, being careful, because I thought they were wearing it for other reasons, and I'm like, but it's like, you're not even anywhere around people out here. Like, it's not like you're riding in a group. Which, funny enough, I was reading earlier, so the Garmin radar I have has a mode, and I don't believe I can actually, I don't think I have the ability to use the mode on it, unless I used my phone as the display for the radar taillight, or if I had a higher end Garmin cycling computer. But it has a thing called the Peloton mode, which I'm like, I know a Peloton. That's not an e-bike. That's a. I'm like, that makes no sense. But I'm like, Peloton must mean something. It must be like French or Latin or Greek, or, it must be a non-English, English origin word that means something other than a bike brand, or a bike trainer brand. So got to Googling it. This is when I was on the phone with my dad earlier, looking into it, and Peloton is actually the name for the main group of people in a bike race. I really enjoy that little downhill section right there. It's a little scary at times. I've had where I've been almost at the foot of it, and unless I angle my light up to get some light on the path, when I'm going, like, to get my light to where it's not pointed down at the road right like 20 feet in front of me, but really pointed up to where it's hitting the path, the flat part of the path, like 50. I've had, when you get to the flat section where I'm on now, there's been somebody walking a dog, or on or walking a bicycle with no headlight and no kind of light and dark clothing, and you're like, you end up, you got to maintain control of your lane, but that's if they are too. And it also gets a little, an unexpected person right there can be kind of nerve-wracking, because like then it puts you to where you really have to maintain your line, and you come down that doing 20 miles an hour easily. So it's one of those, you got to be very cautious. So that's like they say, beginning riders. I was watching a video, the gentleman had mentioned, beginner riders watch right at their front wheel, but as you progress in your riding, you really need to start looking further ahead the path, and the more advanced of a rider you are, the further out you need to be looking. And I do agree with that, because, you know, if you're just watching 5 feet in front of you, that's how accidents and incidents can happen. Flying ahead, look at your line ahead. That way you can figure out how you're gonna go and where you want to go. You know. And tonight's not one of those good example nights of that, because there's not, as y'all have seen, there's hardly anybody out here. That was the biggest group of people I've seen tonight. Playing soccer, it looked like. I mean, I'm only saying soccer because soccer ball came running across the path, came rolling across. So. Just had that little group hanging on the bench right there. It's a good night for it. At least this time of night is. But, I definitely, as much as I wish I still had AdSense revenue or was qualified for it, whatever, because then I would actually push out more content. But it's nice, to have kind of, this channel. It's a good outlet. Try not to be a channel that's sitting there griping about anything, or try and vary it up. Kind of just be like we're on a bike ride together, talking about things I've heard, seen, done, whatever. And I get it. These videos are rather long-winded, and that's what I do. I can talk a while, and it's kind of like I'm just talking to somebody on a bike next to me, or just whatever. And it's also kind of, there might be 1 or 2 or 10, whatever. There might be somebody that comes across one of these videos and watches 15 seconds or 30 seconds of the video, 10 minutes in, and learns something useful to them. I don't know. So, the dragonfly, like something must have done it in. It's not, looked like it had a crash landing. I remember being a kid, go to my great grandmother's house, and they used to land on the fence, and you could grab their wings and you could hold them. And we used to do that as a kid, me and my cousins and stuff. I think my granddad taught us how to do that. And we'd go to our parents, our aunt and uncle. Look what I got! I got one of the big Apache helicopter looking ones. The little fun stuff, that little childhood. So just great times, simpler times. But looks like the camera is getting ready to end recording, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. So it'll either be part of this video or another video, but there will be a video of a bike tour, like a tour of what I've done on this bike. So I'll catch you all in the next one.